Hey everyone, welcome to the Maine Wedding Buzz. Today's guests are Scott and Nicole Mondor from Affordable Events, and so I stuttered there for a minute. We were talking earlier, but I welcome you to the show, and we're going to get right into the rental part of weddings and corporate and any other functions you might have. Scott and Nicole, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we started our business about 4 years ago now, almost to the day. About another 3 weeks, it'll be a complete 4 years.
Wow, happy anniversary early.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Experienced traumatic growth, tremendous success. We're very, very pleased. Kind of taken Western Maine by storm, Western and Central Maine, being one of the only servicing party rental companies in that area, as well as branching into Southern Maine more and becoming a presence down here as well.
What drove you into the rental world?
Our wedding.
Our wedding experience with the rentals and the quality of the products that were available to people in Maine.
So you just decided to bring in your own stuff, and I know you guys have branched out to chandeliers and lighting and things of that nature.
We have.
So.
Yeah, we actually became a business on our honeymoon in Jamaica.
Oh, nice.
So we can offer better service and better quality products than what brides and grooms are experiencing now, and here we open affordable events.
And some things for the brides and grooms that are out there that are available for rent, anywhere from charger plates in different colors, linens that you can rent, floor length,
We have
bars.
over 500, almost 1,000 now different styles of linens to really make your day special and what you want it to be.
120s, 108s, 90s, 90
156s, 120s,
everything.
exactly.
And same thing with china and silverware and glassware and things of that nature.
Absolutely, we have now 4 or 5 different styles of china.
We have 4 styles of china, following all the latest trends and making sure that we can accommodate the different needs for different styles of wedding receptions, from family style to plated to buffet, or cocktail style receptions. We can seat just over
1,500 people, just
Oh,
about
wow.
1,500
we'll be
people in
approaching
China place
2,000
settings.
Wow.
soon.
Different style
Different
chairs.
styles.
Different style china chairs.
And one of the most popular chairs out there are the Shivari, Shivari chairs or ballroom chairs, and cushions can be switched into any color.
Absolutely, with slip covers of any of our specialty fabrics.
Oh, wow. And is that something you put on the slip covers, or does the
No,
client?
we can
do it.
offer it as a service, or the client can do whatever trendy bow they want to do with sashes, chair toppers, all
Nice.
kinds of different things too. Not only a beautiful chair, the Shivari chair, but to actually make it more of your day and bring your linens and specialty fabrics into play.
One of my favorite things with linens too, and I've said this before, is I'm a fan of linens that go to the floor. So if you have a 60-inch round table that requires a 120, you necessarily do not want to see your legs of the tables. So I'm a fan of that. Is that something that you guys do?
Absolutely. We've spoke about that a couple of times, you and I. Where we do tented weddings and we do indoor venue weddings as well.
There's different reasons.
There's
for
different reasons
different
why you would
lengths.
go.
The
Exactly.
lengthwise. And then if you're doing like a bar with an 8-foot table, those require a 90 by 156, and a 6-foot table would require a 90 by 132.
Exactly.
And those can now come in different styles. They don't have to just be ivory or cream. They can come in multiple colors.
I have
now.
500 different
So,
styles.
Such as Tiffany blue. So if you're looking for Tiffany blue, that is available. And so, and two, I think interesting things that are coming out of burlap runners.
Burlap is definitely huge with the rustic, not only tented weddings, but as well barn weddings.
It is.
Barn weddings are very trendy.
And Maine is a destination for that rustic feel and barn feel. So we sort of have to embrace it. And so it's one of those things that people say, oh, when's this fad going to be going? Just like Italy is villas and vineyards, Maine is
This is
barns
Maine.
and
That's
rustic.
right.
And it has everything. And you can have a barn wedding which doesn't have to have the rustic touches. It can be, New York chic if that's what you're looking for.
Rustic
it just depends on your
elegance,
view and
absolutely.
your vision. So how large of events do you do?
Well, we've done up to and over 500-person events. We can do larger. Our forte is normally in the 200 to 400
Nice.
person. 100, 300, anywhere in that realm is our norm.
Is an average.
And how far do you travel for events?
This year we did a beautiful event in Madawaska,
Oh, wow.
right on the border. That was for Governor LePage. And we've gone into New Hampshire.
Callus.
Wow.
So
So you
we
travel.
cover
so
the entire
travel.
Nice.
state.
Absolutely.
And how soon, should bride and grooms call you? This has been an interesting thing for me here, moving from Philadelphia and the New York area, that a lot of places require renting early. And sometimes, being a caterer, early doesn't always necessarily fit. You get last minute brides. And
Absolutely.
I want to be able to find what they need and not go out of the state to purchase it or rent it, things of that nature. So, I've said this before. I said, to cater means to cater to the client, regardless whether you're in the rental, the video, photography, or catering. You have to be able to be on call. And Monday you can get a call for a wedding on Saturday, and you should be able to get what I need. And so, do you
Absolutely.
do things that way?
Absolutely. The brides and grooms are trained today, if you will, to book their
Follow a timeline.
follow a timeline. You know,
Absolutely.
12, 18 months prior to their wedding. In our world, where inventories are so extensive, you can inventories may dwindle and style options may dwindle, but you will or I don't want to say always, but 99% of the time be able to get what you're looking for.
Got it. That's actually really good to know. And do you guys? I know I've seen you at trade shows. And how many do you do a year? Or do you get out there? Because it's good to hustle your business too and be out and be
Yes.
seen.
When we started, I think we did a lot more shows then than we do now. We've structured our business a little bit differently as we've grown to create relationships with certain
Venues and
venues
catering
and
companies like
other
yours.
wedding partners,
Yep.
so that we feed business back and forth, and that has helped accelerate our growth and sustain it. But we do enjoy the shows.
Which is good because you guys have landed a lot of exclusives in
We
Maine,
have.
which is really nice, and so that certainly brings in a lot of revenue, because once you've established your foot in that door, work is coming in, and that's sort
Exactly.
of what we've done too.
So, yeah, we have now 10 or 12 exclusive
Wow.
venues, as well as 3 or 4 now exclusive catering companies that use
Wow.
us. So, which is really neat and really nice in the Western Maine, also keeping us close to home, and using them using us. So, like you said, it's guaranteed revenue for our businesses. When they book a job, it's going to come through us. So
I know
that's
for us, I said one of the venues that we became more entwined with was Granite Ridge. And so,
Yes.
we did our show, which is in Maine Wedding, Real Maine Wedding magazines, and I've talked about this before. Nadra was on, and she did the photography for it, and it's been published in the magazine. And you had your farmer tables there, and that's something that girls
Yes.
are really going into, those farmer tables, that farm-to-table look and that whole style. How many of those do you have? And
Right now, we have about 20 farm tables.
10 to a table or 8?
Is 10 to a table.
That's 250
two-
people.
exactly. And we are growing that inventory to about 50 this winter. And what's nice is we've chosen a stain that not only will fit with our benches, so you have a choice with the farm tables to use the nice benches, or as well the Chiavari chairs that look absolutely stunning with the tables.
And I recently saw some photos that you did over at Granite Ridge where you used the benches for the ceremony site, which I
Absolutely.
really love that look
Absolutely.
in there. And especially they have this beautiful ceremony spot that they've created. And I think the benches worked phenomenal in there. And it was a nice touch.
They did
It's
really
our
look nice.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a nice touch. See anything new for the 2015 season? And, it's interesting, like other venues and other vendors and venues, they work a year in advance. Do you guys do the same thing? Like, is 2015 the season you're working on, or is it 2015, 2016?
We are Close to booked for
Nice.
2015, and definitely taking in many more bookings for the 2016. And how we work it with the clients that are booking that far in advance is nail down the necessity items and then working, over the next several months into finding their colors and their fabrics and textures
Accessories.
and all of the other accessories as they see what's going to be coming popular and trending.
Do you attend shows across the country?
Of course.
That I think it's ARA. Is
The-
that's
yeah, the
your
American
in your
Rental-
profession? It's ARA, right?
Yep, the
Rental.
American Rental Association. This year's rental show is going to be in
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be
Stay
a
at the
fun
French
trip.
Quarter.
Time for me, yeah.
First time for both of us
Nice.
to go down to the Big Easy, but it's really a place where we go and learn about this year's or next year's upcoming wedding trends.
And a good another resource too is Cater Source, because they
Absolutely.
blow up
Great
the Vegas
show.
scene, and
Yep.
it's just phenomenal.
I believe you guys took in Cater Source this year.
We
in Las
did. We went to
Vegas.
Cater Source. I'm going to do a little self-promotion. We were nominated for an ACE award, only catering company in the
That's
state of Maine.
great.
So I was excited. Although we didn't win, we were still the first to be nominated. But what I like about that is that they constantly have new things that aren't out there
Absolutely.
yet, that are literally available in Europe, and now they're hitting the United States. And so there are
Absolutely.
trends that are coming here that you go, wow, and they get unveiled right there. And
Yes.
So
Yes.
do you like that feel when
Absolutely.
Very
I'm
similar
assuming that
for
the
us
ARA show
at
is the
that
same
show,
way.
yes.
Yes.
That's great. And how many of those do you attend a year?
The ARA show is our main.
That's our large one. It happens in
Do you
the
go
winter.
as buyers or?
We go as buyers as well as students.
Oh, wow.
Students, we take classes there every year. Not
It's
only
3 days.
on
3 days of
3 days, yeah.
classes.
3 days of classes where we'll learn, different strategies, tent setting strategies, and then table design strategies, all kinds of different, what's hot this year, what's not, what's leaving.
No, you said tents. How many tents do you do?
We are still primarily
About 75%.
75% probably. And that can be from a small catering tent all the way up to a tent as large as 40 by 200 to do a 200, 300 person event underneath.
Excellent. When the bride and grooms or the clients come into your studio, I'm going to assume you have a showroom.
We do.
So they come in and so they're able to go, I'd like to see this color or this navy blue, and I want to pair it with a napkin. Do you help them, pick
Absolutely.
those
Yes.
styles so that it makes them more interactive? And then, what's nice too is to say, I have this china pattern and I want to match it with this, and is that all stuff that you do there?
Absolutely. In our showroom, we have a farmer's table, we have a round, we have 5x5 square, some cocktail tables, a couple of our different bar setups, and once everybody has decided, okay, we have this for a guest count, this is the style table I like, and then we get to go. We have 2 linen rooms, we have a big rounder with a bunch of different
So you pretty much set it for them
swatches,
so they can
and
see
they
it.
get we get to lay everything out on the
Oh, wow.
table. They get to see what it's going to look like, try
Nice.
a few different things. A lot of the times, it's just like when you're shopping for your wedding dress. You don't know what you like till you see
You
it
just
on.
put it all together and say, and then there's 3 different styles or 4 different. And do you do the same thing with the chair? Like each style has a
You
different
can
chair so
try
they can see it
different,
visually.
absolutely. So
good.
And the
I
nice
have it
thing-
always set up in different ways
Okay.
that they get to see first, and then they get to kind of play with their own ideas.
And with lighting, do you do the same thing from bistro lighting to chandeliers? Do you show them the strands and the things that are out there?
They are out in our showroom at this point. They get to see. We can actually place a table underneath the chandelier, move things all around. That's the whole idea of having the showroom. You set an appointment with us. You can come in. We can play. You're going to see what your wedding is going to feel like. It's going to look like. And to go one step further than that, we can actually do a computer-generated CAD design. If you're doing it under a tent, or if you're doing, say it was at Granite Ridge, we have all the dimensions of the actual barn.
So you can lay out all the tables.
We can lay out all the tables, so you know exactly what you're going to get from us. Because not only are we a rental company, we've taken the stance where we're as much service as we are rental. As working with you in the past, you've seen, we bring in the tables, we set them up according to the floor plan that we've designed with the bride and groom. And so the bride and groom, the only thing they're going to have to do is come in and party.
Nice.
You know, you're going to either dress the tables or we're going to dress the tables. And sometimes we'll even work together, same sort of thing.
Yep.
And they'll come in and it's a relaxed, they're not having to sweat it. It removes a lot of their stress. So that's the idea.
Would you say that 90% of your business is wedding driven, or do you do corporate as well?
Of
you
course.
said, you know,
Yes.
Governor LePage, so I'm going to
Yep.
assume that you,
Yep.
you do that sector too.
Yeah, 90%.
We're close to mostly weddings. It's what we, I guess, would more specialize in.
Nice.
That's why we started.
It's why we started. That was the passion behind it. We do enjoy doing the corporate stuff. Love doing events for Governor LePage. We did a Kiwanis fundraising event.
Which looked beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. That was done at Granite Ridge. Things like that we get to be very involved in our community, in our state, we do enjoy.
Nice. And how many venues do you work with? I know that you said you had several. I mean, you want to mention some of them?
How many do we work with is a lot.
Endless.
And then you have exclusives that you work
We
with.
do.
So if you want to
We-
mention them
We have
for the viewers.
exclusives with Granite Ridge, as we've mentioned numerous times.
And Chandler House.
Chandler House in New
House in
Gloucester. Mountain House at Sunday River. Inn at Pinnacle Mountain.
So if a client actually wanted to, was just starting out and went to your studio first and said, hey, I don't have a location yet, you can actually lead them in a
We
direction
can-
that could help you
Absolutely.
too.
We can
especially.
certainly do that. We can actually help you from soup to nuts. Bride can come in and say, I don't even have my wedding dress yet. And we have a vendor table with our vendors that we do, that are
Business
tried
with,
and
yeah.
true with us.
Nice.
And that's who will be on our vendor table is, if we've worked together and had successful events in the past, you can then make it to my vendor table and we will recommend you to our
Nice.
prospective brides
Any
and grooms.
client that comes in.
And that's key, especially in this world today, because when I first started out 26 years ago, I mean, like I've said this before, we worked out of a word processor and typewriter. A lot of people probably don't even know what that stuff is. But the reality is when computers came into play, everything's out there now. So, it's very transparent, and so you can find everything easily. And some brides don't want the one-on-one, but there are some that do. And and you want to be able to still be able to touch the fabric and not just see it online. And so that's
right.
what's nice about having
Absolutely.
that and that connection. And one more thing I wanted to touch on, you guys have a whole line of family style platters,
We do.
which are
Yes.
great because that's a trend that's coming up, especially with farmer tables or long tables, and you're creating a Tuscan style table using 8-foot tables if you don't want to use the farmer tables. So what I like about that is that they have these long platters that you can put your food, your potatoes, vegetables, meats, fish. You have rounds, squares, longs.
Absolutely, as
it
well
says
as-
all
as
large
well as
bowls
the
for salads and
serving
stuff.
bowls, serving utensils made just for the family style.
That match our very
Silverware and
trendy flatware that we have the hammered finish.
And I like those a lot. And I know that this year you picked up gold trim.
Gold.
A
Oh,
gold
as well.
trim, yeah, Lennox Silverware Marquesa Majestic.
Nice.
It's really, really nice.
Gold is
Which-
definitely coming
Exactly,
back.
it is, and,
Gold
and
is-
it's taking a turn that you can mix it with other textures so that it all sort of
Absolutely.
kind of flies. And with Pantone always throwing those new colors for the new season out there. I mean, it looks like orange is making it, plums are
Wild
making
Orchid,
it,
is that what
browns.
it's?
Yeah.
Wild Orchid this year being
Yeah.
one of the.
Yeah, that
the
actually is the
Pantone
is
colors.
the color of this
Absolutely.
year, and so
Yes.
which are different colors of plum and
absolutely,
purples and,
yep.
and vibrant colors that you want to use. But what I like is that you diversify. You're not just doing sit-down dinner plates. Now you're into the family style, and if you need chargers and if you need runners of different style,
right.
you can get that. And so there's a lot out there, and so one of the things that you should always do is call Scott and Nicole and find out what they have, and if they don't have it, they can get it for you.
You can certainly
know,
get
those
it.
We
are
always
things-
do our best to
Perfect.
get
And
things.
that's what I love about having showrooms, that you can actually have that open dialogue, and there might be something that you go, wow, I'm going to get that because people are
Or
asking
you've
for
seen
it.
on Pinterest.
Exactly.
That's one of the big things today is I saw it on
Brides
Pinterest.
are
I need to have
addicted.
that.
Yeah. And how social media wise, going into that, are you guys on Twitter?
We are on
Instagram?
Facebook. We are a little bit lacking, to say the truth, on some of the social media. Of course, we have a beautiful website,
Yep.
which is
Which will be on at the end of the show.
and which you, I'm sure, know is always a work in progress, always changing, updating, and as well as our Facebook, always updating and changing. And
This time of year, we're still very hands-on in the production and execution of all of our events. So you don't find us in the office behind the computer very often.
You're out on the road.
We are
we
very
are out
busy,
on the roads with a cruise. Yeah.
making sure that all of our clients are happy and satisfied with their setups and the events.
I like that. As owners, I think that I do the same thing. I attend my events. If I book you, I'm there start to finish. I know that you guys can't be there start to finish because really we have to do the rest. I mean,
Right,
you can't
right.
serve dinner. But it's nice to know as owners that you do the same thing, that you at least go, have that initial touch base,
That's right.
are
Yes.
there. I think sometimes, and I've said this before on other shows, that when you start not getting that twitch in your stomach, it's when you stop caring.
That's
and
right.
If you still have the twitch, that means you care. And 26 years later, I still get the twitch at every
Yes.
event.
Yes.
And I'd rather get the twitch every time because I know I
Absolutely.
We
still
still get
care.
very excited
We-
for
Exactly.
each and every
Each
event we do.
That's right.
Because it's different. Even though it's the same equipment that that you're using here and there, the look always
Yes.
changes, and that's what I like.
It's your
Definitely.
bride and grooms or couples, one of the most important days of their lives.
And you get to be a part of that.
And
It's
we
very
get to be a
special.
part of that. So we want to, of course, put our best foot forward, as you do as caterers.
And one of the things too that I want to stress to brides and groom who are going into the rental, companies and with Scott and Nicole is when you go out there, remember that it also takes a kitchen to create your wedding. So one of the things that you require for a caterer, or that are required for a caterer, is an oven, a warming box. And we're good to go with three 8-foot tables and a tent. Especially if it rains, you don't want to be without a tent. So when you're talking to Scott and Nicole, make sure that you remember that you need that oven, you need a warming box, you need
Absolutely.
3 8-foot tables, and you need a tent, whether it's a 10 by 10 or a 20 by 10.
20 by 20.
20 by 20.
It's become really 15 or 20 by 20 is
Just enough space that you can work and that the dishes can come back into. You can plate the salad. That's a necessity, as well as the chairs and the tables and the linens and all of that. And I think sometimes it gets forgotten. So I want to make sure that I stress that when you call them. We need our equipment to make
Yes.
the magic
Gotta
happen.
Make the food
That's
happen.
right.
So-
Absolutely.
I want to thank our guests today, Scott and Nicole, for driving down and bringing some wonderful stuff for us to see. Check out their website. Give them a call. They have some great locations. The chandeliers are beautiful that they have. Some of the photos you'll see on the show are stunning. And I believe you have some of Governor LePage's
We
stuff
do
on
have
there and
some
some
of
Grant
it.
Wood
We
stuff.
do.
So, until next time, thanks for joining Maine Wedding Buzz, and I'll see you next week.